One of India's finest legal brains and undoubtedly the legal eagle, Harish Salve joins us right here on ET Now, a long-time friend and an associate of Ratan Tata, somebody who's advised the Tata Group many a times before, whose legal advice has been sought on this matter itself, and somebody who I personally hold in very, very high esteem. Mr. Salve, it's a pleasure talking to you right here on ET Now. Thank you for taking time off this evening. Just for the benefit of our viewers, I know you have a long association with Ratan Tata and the Tata Group. Did you advise the Tatas on this particular matter, on the ouster of Cyrus Mistry and the return of Ratan Tata? Just for the benefit of our viewers, want to clear the air there.
No, not at all, not at all. I heard about it yesterday.
Were you surprised with what you heard and the manner in which it was done? Because this isn't just any other group, this is the Tata Group.
Yes, see, Supriya, I was surprised to hear it. Because it is a major development, and since I had not heard of it before, I was surprised to hear it. But then also I have been away from India for over 3.5 weeks, so I've sort of been away from the action, as it were. And after which I've had a few meetings with people, and I've got to know what happened. So as I said in the afternoon to another channel, see, Tatas are an institution. This is not a fight about property. This is not a fight about grabbing a promoter's position. This is a very different situation. Tatas are an institution. The institution is passing through difficult times. And the board of Tata Sons, which has a lot of independent people who have no personal stakes in it, including Mr. Ratan Tata, who has no personal financial stakes in it. It is these people who built up a magnificent institution, a global institution. And if they felt that these difficult times need a change of stewardship, that's what they have done.
The question, sir, is that the bone of contention is perhaps not what it has been done, but in the manner in which it has been done. Because you're a long-term associate of the Tata Group, do you believe it could have been done differently? The suddenness of this, and I think the abruptness of this, has taken a lot of people by surprise.
Well, let me tell you, suddenness is suspect when the people behind it either have motive to grab something, which is not the case here, or suddenness is suspect if there are a bunch of hotheads who have indulged in something, which is also not the case here. If it has been kept under wraps and it has been done, to use an expression which is in common currency nowadays, it has been done surgically, well, one view is that's the way it should have been done. The other viewers know it should have been in public domain, debated, discussed, etc. I mean, the people who are actually at the helm of affairs are all senior people. They are experienced people. They are competent administrators, each one in their own right. So if they have done something, we must at least give them the benefit of doubt that they have done it in the right way as the circumstances allow.
Oh, absolutely. And we've had board members like Kumar Lord Bhattacharya, and in fact, who's a part of the selection panel, say that they were not satisfied with the performance of the group under Cyrus Mistry. The board lost confidence, and that's something that you've been quoted to say, and so have people like Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who are now representing the Tata, sir. But the question also is, should the working be reviewed? Should there be set parameters that a chairman needs to be judged against? I mean, I know you're an insider for all practical purposes for the Tata Group. What do you think went horribly wrong? The financial growth that was perhaps too slow, the undoing a lot of the Ratan Tata legacy, the getting rid of strategic assets which were perhaps not as profitable right now. I mean, what really went wrong according to you?
How about all the above? See, they are passing through difficult times, and there are different approaches one takes in a different time. What he was doing, perhaps the board members felt, did not fit within the Tata ecosystem, the Tata culture. One is when you have a difficult time with an asset, when an asset becomes a challenge, one is you ditch the asset, the other is you find your way around it, saying, I have created this, I will support it and nurse it back to health. One of Ratan Tata's greatest if I may say so, success is too small a word to use for it. One of Ratan Tata's greatest tributes to Mother India was when he took JLR and turned it around. And there was a beautiful article I read in The Guardian which said the Tata culture has benefited the Jaguar Land Rover company. Now that is what a group's image is made of. When Chorus was purchased, you know, these major acquisitions in European countries, these are, even they are private, they are government blessed. And when Chorus was purchased, it was a commitment to the British government. So maybe there was a feeling in the Tata board that the way these things have been handled, the way asset sales have been handled, the way the overall image of the group is shaping up is not in the vision of the Tata Sons board, and so they have acted in this manner. So when you say was it A, B or C, I say a bit of everything.
A bit of everything indeed, but could the handling of Docomo have had a final nail in the coffin, if I were to use that very commonly abused phrase? The way Docomo was handled, at least in public parlance, was very unlike what the Tatas have done all these years. Do you believe that did not go down well with the shareholders and the board at large? Because we keep referring to the Tata ethic, the Tata way of doing things, really.
See, the Docomo has become a challenge. Docomo has become a challenge partly because the Reserve Bank of India changed the rules of the game after the match had begun. And why the Reserve Bank did what it did is a completely another story which we can talk about some other day. The situation is, and I take ownership of the problem. On my advice, they went to the Reserve Bank and said, please allow us to send this money. The Reserve Bank did agree to send the money. Ministry of Finance came down and said you cannot make rules for a single person. Now this is a typical Indian problem. It has a Indian context, and in the Indian context this was playing out. Unfortunately, the award of the tribunal says do what exactly the Reserve Bank says don't. And so it's Reserve Bank which has taken this as a slight and said, you know, how dare you? And unfortunately for us, the tribunal says we are not concerned with FEMA. So if they had given a finding that FEMA permits this or something, it was another matter. Now in this legal wrangle, Tatas find themselves in a bit of a bind. How this had to be handled, well, hindsight is always 20/20. But I mean, I must confess, after the Docomo award, I have no idea how it is being handled, because I'm sure for good reason they've kept me out of the matter completely after that. But I feel at the end of the day, I was in London for 3 weeks, as I told you, and the kind of comments which I heard were not very flattering about how it was being handled and what it would result in and so on. So I think that could have been one of the things which played out.
So let me just keep that one legal wrangle aside, and just to clarify here that you were not involved with the legalities till yesterday. Are you going to be representing Ratan Tata in court going forward if there were to be a legal issue on what has transpired yesterday?
I hope there will be nothing to represent him for in a court. But if the occasion arises,
we all hope so. But sir, I must also. Sorry, please go ahead.
I've always been. I've had a very warm relationship with Tatas. I've personally had a very warm relationship with Mr. Ratan Tata. You know, we did that right to privacy case against the advice of everybody else. He had faith in my word, and that's when we moved that petition. So I respect him immensely, and I think the day he joined as chairman of Tatas and the day he left chairmanship of Tatas, if you compare the two balance sheets, they tell their own story. So I have immense respect for him. He's a person of great moral stature. He's a person of great vision. And if the need arises, if he needs my services, I'm always there for him.
His reputation goes beyond balance sheet, doesn't it? But just ask you to wear your legal hat, and not as Tata's counsel, but just wear your legal hat and explain to our viewers here, sir, because some of us are very intrigued to ask these questions. Does a chairman need to be informed if the board is going to be taking this decision? Does a notice need to be served? What happens? Because Cyrus Mistry does continue as a board member even though he's out of the chairmanship. How cumbersome is this entire process really?
A chairman's post under the company law, Supriya, as you know very well, is not a post with any executive powers. Technically, a chairman is one who chairs the meeting of the board. It is a very prestigious position. It symbolizes somebody who's the head of the company. But there are so many companies which have outside chairpersons also. So it's not necessarily that if you're the chairman, you're running the company. Tata Sons is the principal shareholder in the downstream operation companies. And therefore, being chairman of Tata Sons is symbolic. It is important. But they have continued him on the board of Tata Sons. And therefore, if the view taken, and I agree with the view that if he has been, if the board has said he should not continue as chairman in a duly constituted board meeting, that was within the right of the board members.
Are we staring at a protracted legal battle on this one? Cyrus Mistry is still in a wait-and-watch mode. They have said they've filed no legal caveats just yet, even though Tata Group has done that across various forums. Are we staring at a bitter boardroom battle that may play out in the courtrooms? What's your hunch?
I have a feeling that Cyrus Mistry's loyalty and affection for the Tata Group and his devotion to the Tata Group should never be put in question. Things may not have worked out right, but I am sure there is hurt. There is a feeling of anger, there is a feeling of hurt when some things happen in life. But I am sure he'll rise to the occasion. His present utterances show the maturity of the man, show his character, where he has said, I'm not going to rush into any legal posturing or legal battles. And I'm sure if this kind of maturity is shown as he is showing, and Tatas, of course, are a group of very seasoned, mature administrators. It's an institution. I'm sure people will rise above themselves to make sure whatever is done in the future is in the interest of the institution. So I hope there will be no protracted legal battles. I don't think that will happen. This is not a promoter versus promoter squabble where people are fighting for money. It's for a cause. And when you are working for a cause, you realize the cause is bigger than those involved in serving it.
I can't agree with you more on that, but I have a final question before I let you go. Because you're a long-time associate of the Tata Group, and we've had discussions this evening on what an institution the Tata Group in itself is, do you believe what has transpired yesterday and what has followed in the next 24 hours now is going to hurt brand Tata, is going to damage the reputation that the Tata Group as an institution has stood for?
If this going forward becomes what other similar or not similar, or what other change in management structures have become, and which has sullied the atmosphere at times, has sullied the good name of corporate enterprises. If this becomes something like that, then brand Tata will undoubtedly be damaged. I think it is the strength of a enterprise, of an institution, that they can bring about such a major change, and they can bring it about with the maturity and with the dignity it deserves.
Mr. Harish Salve, it's always a pleasure talking to you and to pick your brains on what is perhaps a big story that's unfolding in corporate India. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate your time right here on ET Now for joining us. We take a quick breather. News and analysis follows right here on this channel.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.